Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is day 7 of the October Leetcode Day Challenge. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, join me in Discord, let me know what you think about today's problem. I have not gone out for a run yet. Today's my first day of the peak week. Peak week being this is the most I'm going to ever do. Well, for this training cycle, I mean. Something about 60 miles with a couple of bonus miles. So that's like almost 100 kilometers this week, so it's tough, but I haven't done it today yet, so I have to do it afterwards. A quick 7 miles, which is what, like 11k or something like that, give or take 12k. So more on that later. So a question that I got in the comments, and I've been trying to do a little bit better about it, is that usually I jump right into the problem, so I forget to read the comments. I read the comments afterwards, and then I was like, oh yeah, I could have talked about this, and I forget. Which happens from time to time, or most of the time, because maybe I just have to get my workflow going. But what I'm going to say about that is, what was I going to say about that? Oh yeah, practice. Yeah, so a good question I got from one of the comments is, you know, they saw me doing contests, I think, or maybe Leetcode problems and stuff like this. Well, I mean, just from this video, you know, I talk a lot about visualization, and that basically, maybe next time I'll just like quote it, because now I'm like paraphrasing it and maybe incorrectly. But the idea being that how do I, Larry, gain a visualization in my head and stuff, right? And honestly, a lot of this it comes from the fact that I've done similar problems before, like not the same ones. I mean, maybe actually exactly the same, but I don't remember them in the sense that like the last couple of days, it's been BFS, right? Yes, I have done them, but no, I don't remember them. But yes, there's still BFS problems. So like, you know, they're very similar. And as you saw yesterday, I made some silly mistakes because, well, I don't memorize them because, you know, yeah, like I still, you know, most of the code is the same. So in that sense, in a way, you know, I already have pre-constructed visualizations, which, okay, admittedly, I was a little bit too lazy to show them because a lot of it is just based on shortest path, which has a lot of, there's just a lot of information out there about Dijkstra and shortest paths and stuff like that. So I don't like to repeat, you know, because what, you know, at a certain point, you know, I have 5 years of videos, so like that's just, you know, how many times can I talk about Dijkstra and BFS, right? Apparently many times, but you get the idea. But this is why during contests or in the beginning of contests, I put an emphasis on this every single time, which is that, and I still have it. I mean, I don't use it for daily problems that much. When I do, and when I do, I try to draw it on the screen because, you know, we have more time versus like a contest in which I'm just trying to like get the ideas out, right? But yeah, but the short answer is that I have a notebook, right? Let's see, who was this from? Oh yeah, actually I don't remember when this is from. I mean, this is from the Leetcode contest somewhere anyway. Yeah. I was going to try to see if I can show you, because I have some couple of pages where I just put Leetcode stickers, but now I don't know where those pages are. In any case, yeah, so notebook and a pencil, right? The most old school kind of way. And I just draw things out, just keep on drawing. It was BFS or DFS or whatever, the last or shortest path. Just draw out the nodes, draw out the edges, look at the relationships, change some numbers, play around with it, erase it, you know, do anything you can, right? All of that is part of the exploration. All part of that is, you know, there's no wrong things, because every quote unquote wrong end that you go into is time that you save in the future, because the next time you see a similar problem, you're going to be like, oh no, that's not right. I'm not going to do that again because I did it last time, right? That's, you know, that is the way to learn, right? It's not necessary that like, oh, I'm so smart, I see this and I'm skipping it, right? I mean, okay, maybe some people are, but at least for me, and you have to figure out your way of doing it, is that you're like, for me, I'm like, oh, I try this thing, it doesn't work, so I don't try next time. And that's not even true, in the sense that I tried like probably 5 times the wrong way before I remember. Not, you know, that's a little bit secret, but you know, don't tell anyone. No, but So yeah, so don't be afraid. Like, and and this is, remember, this notebook I kept only over the. I don't know how long I've had this notebook for. I mean, it's long, but also not too long, right? And you could see, like, I don't know if you can actually see. Let me see if I can. Like, maybe you can't really see it. I mean, it's just like scribbles that doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of numbers in relation to each other, and and what I want to say is that this notebook is recent, but not too recent. But it's still like, you can say this. I've had this book since I was quote unquote really good, right? And it is, and it is still almost throwing up. Is my point. So there's still new stuff that I need to visualize, and I need help visualizing, and I have a notebook for it. So yeah, so when I say, try to figure out how to visualize, I don't necessarily mean like, oh, have the perfect end state in mind. It's the same as, when you see me program as well, right? I mean, that's more obvious because it's on the screen, but I make mistakes, and it's the same thing with visualization. You will make mistakes. But it's not a mistake because it's an exploration, it's a discovery, it's trying to figure out, not just the right answer and why it is right, but wrong answers and why it is wrong, right? Like for example, maybe for instead of dice you're trying doing DFS, right? And you're like, oh, DFS can sometimes be solved or can solve shortest path problems. Why doesn't it work? Oh, let me draw it out and then try to draw some examples, figure out examples. And I think one thing that Leetcode is bad at, in a sense, is that it gives you the input you're wrong for, right? I did not start out that way, and and Codeforce doesn't as well, right? As far as I know, I mean, I know that you could get there are ways to get them, but I don't think they give it to you like directly, right? Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. I haven't. At least in the practice things. I mean, on contests, obviously they do not, but Leetcode sometimes do. Now they're hidden cases, but that's another story. But my point there is that figuring out, quote unquote, the worst case, the edge cases, these are skills that you have to have too. And they actually come in handy more for more practical programming, for example, right? And then along with those things are debugging. Debugging is probably like the most important thing you can learn from Leetcode if you learn anything. Debugging and cleaning up your code and try to write code that is easier to debug, TDD-ish kind of thing, if you ever get that far. So yeah. So visualization is just another thing into that entire process. And definitely, get yourself a notebook. Just scribble anything you want. It doesn't matter. You can look like, because the meme that I always make fun of, or I make fun of myself of, is the conspiracy theory meme. Hang on, from what's it called? It's always sunny in Philly meme, right? So it'll be like trying to do it. There's too much random ads. Okay, fine. Maybe this is fine. But maybe not that one. But yeah, just like just scribble everything you want. And thankfully, there's nothing not safe for work. But you get what I mean. Just like scribble everything, do everything, make random connections, and you'll see me sometimes do that on screen. But yeah. Anyway, that's my tip for visualization. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. What are the things that you do to help visualization? Okay. So with that said, let's get to today's problem. We have 1488, avoid flood in the city. Okay, so your country has an infinity number of lakes. That's actually a lot of lakes. Is it countably infinity or uncountably infinity? Anyway, initially all the lakes are empty, but when it rains over the nth lake becomes full of water. If it rains over a lake that is full of water, there'll be a flood. Makes sense, I guess. Your goal is to avoid flood in any lake. Okay, given there'll be rains. Okay, rain sub I is greater than 0. Okay. Rains sub I is greater than 0 means that there will be rains over rain sub I lake. Okay. I probably need to look at the example to really understand what that means, but okay. If it's equal to 0, there's no rain on this day. What is I? This is way confusing, or maybe just, I don't know. Okay, return an answer where, what is rains again? Is that the day or the lake? Oh, no, it's the lake, but I is the, oh, okay. So so it only rains on one lake a day, is that the thing? It's not, that part is, it's hard to read. And then you could also dry one. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, let's take a look at an example. All right. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. At the first day, 1, 2, 3, 4. No days to dry any lake, and there are no floods. Are we trying to minimize anything? Oh no, you could just dry because dry is only for 0, so you have no choice as to when to dry. Okay, you have 1, 2, 0. You dry. Dry, right? Okay. I mean, I think this is I don't know if it's common, but I feel, and I don't know that, I don't know. I would say one thing about me is that I feel like I'm arrogant because every time I'm, because I've been doing this for so long that I always feel good about myself in a arrogant, confident, cocky kind of way. And I'm like, oh, I feel like I just learned how to do, or like I have a more put together idea of how to solve this. And then I look at like the past submission, because I know that I solved it before. I look at the past submission, I'm like, oh, Larry from 6 years ago actually did it smarter. So I don't know if it's true or something like that, right? I don't know. When you've been doing this for so long, it's hard to remember what's new and what's not, maybe. Or maybe, you know, it's just, my head is not right. But in any case, yeah, this one can be a little bit tricky if you try to do it the way that they may suggest you to do, which is to say, if you try to do it one day at a time, it may be tricky. For these kind of problems, the core idea is going to be greedy, but not at the point of resolution. It's at the point of, how to say this? It's almost like a fake delay fix kind of thing, right? Like almost like, I don't really know if there's like a term for this, and if there is, let me know in the comments, because I feel like I have very smarty pants people on my Discord who are like, oh, Larry, no, this is just XYZ algorithm. And I'm like, wow, when back in my day, first, get off my lawn, but second, we didn't have a term for it. It's just an algorithm. So I don't know. But the way that I construct it in my head is this idea of time machine. I don't know if this is a good visualization, but it's this idea of time machine. It is actually related to this problem that let me see if I could find it. Yeah, because I always call it the Rick and Morty problem. The reason being, as you'll see in a second when I pull it up, is because of, yeah. Don't know how they do it, but in any case, yeah. And for and the idea is kind of the same thing. Is that instead of choosing when, like if you do it the quote unquote naive way of, okay, let's just simulate. Okay, we do 1, we do 2. Now we have to choose at 0. I don't know which one to choose, right? Dot. But instead of choosing it, then you just delay it, meaning that, okay, we don't have to figure it out yet because we know the future, right? That's the part that is quote unquote time machine, because we know the future, and then yeah. And then now the second 0, also the same. We know the future. We don't need it yet because nothing is flooded. Nothing becomes flooded. But then now when we get the second 2, we go, oh, if we do 2 again, it's going to be flood. Now can we travel back in time and choose 2? And that's basically the idea behind this problem that I would say I would have, right? And yeah, and you could probably figure out a way to visualize this as well, kind of to tie into the intro. But that's the idea that I think about it. And for me, as you can see, I kind of construct my own stories to it. I don't know if there are names for these algorithms, like I said. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But I could, I think about it in terms of time, and then now I have a time machine to go backwards in time to kind of resolve it in a greedy way. Maybe it's a Larryism. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, but now with that structure, because it's very easy to do this in log n. We could do it. I mean, you could probably do it with a binary search trees backed set, which also maybe you could use a hash set, whatever, right? Whatever it is, it's gonna be fast enough, so I don't even worry about the n, right? The size of the input, because it's gonna be probably n log n or something like that. Yeah. Okay. So the infinite number of lakes. Okay. So then this could be pretty big. Okay, so you can just do like in a way, but that's fine. Like I said, it's a set, so it doesn't matter. So then now we can do for lake, maybe, in range. Well, we actually also want the index, so let me enumerate it. I'll just create index. I was debating calling it days, but it's fine, right? So then now, yeah, we will say used maybe? Or what's the terminology they use for water? Non-empty, water full. Okay, let's call it full, right? So then now, yeah, if lake is in full, then this floods, right? Pretty straightforward, and then we return empty away. Otherwise, we add. Oh wait, that's not quite true. But for now, right? Otherwise, we add a lake, right? So this is if we don't have. If we don't have whatchamacallit, we could try and that's what I was trying to see if we could try an empty lake, which is apparently possible, so that's fine. We could put it as a random number. Okay, so yeah, so this obviously maybe is good enough, but not actually, right? Because we have to do the lake is equal to 0. Which means that we have to dry a lake, right? So then now we can maybe just have, dry index maybe. And actually, let's make it a deck. Yeah. Right? Actually, is that true? Huh. Let me think about this. Because I was going to do it as a deck, but I think maybe I'm mistaken. I mean, the idea is still true. And the idea is important, but that's why we have to think about edge cases. But the thing that I was going to say, which it doesn't make sense, is that, or that I think breaks what I was about to do, is that if you have 1, 0, 3, 3, well, yeah, if you do 3 and then you do 3, that's true, but you cannot, it doesn't handle the 0, right? Because this 0, you cannot preemptively dry 3 so that you could use 2 3s in a row. So this isn't quite right. So it's important to have an edge case, to think about these edge cases, and sometimes, not gonna lie, miss it a lot, right? So then now what can we do? On this one, it's going to be false, but there also obviously you can construct more convoluted cases where you have 0, then this one has to, yeah, or like this one has to dry between these two, right? Or like, yeah, you can only pick this one for the 3, and maybe in the future there's a 1, right? If something like this, then you actually put the 1 here, and the dry one. Let's put negative for that, and then dry 3 here, right? So you have to be okay. So then now, yeah. So the idea is still going to be the same. Maybe not in quite the same way as Rick and Morty as far, because in that one is pure greedy, but here now we have to think a little bit more on the ideas in terms of implementation, right? Because because I think the idea, because in a very naive way, you can just do n square, right? N square is easy. Same idea. You just go back and then find the 0, whatever, right? But n square in this case actually going to be too slow, so we have to figure it out. Okay. Well, actually, I guess it's not that bad, right? Because then, we have to do some more maths, or we have to just, it's what I call bookkeeping, because you just have to keep track of a lot of things, right? I always like to keep my cases here so that I at least remember that on mine, right? So instead of a set, we can maybe do it on full of and then what that does is that lake I is full or last full on day full sub I, right? That's it. And answer is what, you know, they tell you. Maybe we could just do -1 times n, not the case. Yeah. Dry index doesn't really make. Oh, I guess it's fine. But now what we want is. I'm trying. I mean, I think there's probably still a heap solution, maybe. But I think the reason why I'm pausing is that I feel like every time I use sorted list, someone gets a little bit sad because people, the Java people, is it sorted containers or so? I've written this a billion times that I forget. I guess we'll see. But yeah, because in Java and stuff like that, people always ask what's the equivalent, and I don't know. But basically, what we want, right, is given someone like that, the natural thing is that, okay, well, now we have the last index, and of course, this is the last, for this 3, this is the last index, this is the current index. So then now we want to just binary search to see if there are any zeros inside. If we are able to keep track of all the indexes, right? Yeah, and the reason why we need to sort of this is because we want to be able to remove this, and you know, so that others cannot use it in the future, right? So okay, so yeah, you think about this, right? So dry index, right? If okay, let's start over, right? So okay, if this is the case, then dry indexes dot append index, something like that, right? And we could continue. Is index enough? Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. I just want. I'm a little tired as well. Even though I didn't sleep that well yesterday, and I still have to go for 7-mile run. But this is the last week. You could do it, Larry. Power through it. I'm so tired. I mean, some part of it, and I don't know. I know that there's a bit of a problem, but the point of it is that, you know, you're peaking, right? The idea about someone remind me to talk about it tomorrow. I'll talk about peak week philosophy and why I'm so tired and how it's intentional and in a good thing. But in any case, yeah. Okay. Okay. So then now, if it's not lake, maybe I could just do an else. No, I like to do it this way. Okay, dry lake. No, this is not dry lake. We just put in a thing. Okay, so then now, if lake not in full, then full of lake is equal to index, right? And then we also skip. And then now, if it is indexed, then see if we can find a time to dry it from the previous time, which is full of lake. and yeah, and this index, which is just this is index, right? So then now we do trying to think real quick, actually. Hang on. I'm trying to think whether like if you have something weird, like in a crisscross kind of way, like maybe the maybe I've like, I don't know, this, does that make sense? Like this, the I guess the 3 would go first and would take this one in a greedy way, and then the 2 would take this one afterwards. But I'm just trying to think if there's a way for it to like go wrong, like in a wrong ordering matter kind of way. I don't think you can, because if this is 2 here, then 2 would take the 0, but then 3 would just have no zeros, right? Okay, maybe that's fine. But what I was going to also was thinking about. Well, what about something like this, right? Then now the 2 can choose either this 0 or this 0. And if this 2 chooses this 0. Okay, so you actually want the first index, and you want to buy it, because I mean, I think I might have done it, but I don't think it was clear for me, or I didn't make it clear. I mean, and it wasn't clear to me in my mind because I didn't think of it. Because but I was like, something was bugging me, and some of that is experience as I'm writing this out. Is that, well, the first thing is that there are actually multiple choices, right? In this case, you have multiple zeros, so then what do you choose? And if you want to quote unquote test greedy, there are only two ideas. Is either one, it doesn't matter. I guess there are three ideas. One, it doesn't matter. It's either in the beginning or at the end, right? Because yeah, it's either at the beginning or greedy or at the end because of some principle, or it doesn't matter and you can choose any of them. In this case, actually, I think you can always just choose the one in the beginning. The reason being that the later ones can always be used for more elements because there are more elements to the left side of it, right? So that in the future, it can be used more, like it's a more available 0, if you want to call it that, or more available drying day. So you always want to greedily choose the first one. And as a result, I was going to say you want to binary search a number between, for example, this 2 and the previous 2, which is true, right? That is what we want to do. But when you're doing this sweep from left to right, we actually don't see these numbers yet, right? So it just looks like this. And as a result, we actually don't even need to binary search this one. We just need to get the first 0, which is after the previous 2. Right? So that's a little bit of a simplification so that you don't need to do, say, 2 binary search, right? Which maybe is obvious, but just want to point it out more specifically. So then now you have, and this is the whole reason why we have this as a sorted list, is so that we could do a bisect left, and bisect left, bisect right doesn't matter in the sense that all the indexes are unique, right? So they're mutually exclusive. Okay, so then now this is the index, right? And we know that this exists because otherwise, if it doesn't exist, then we just populate here. So as a result, if this is greater than or equal to the length of dry indexes, then no dry day found, and then we can return the whatever. Otherwise, then now dry indexes of index is going to be the dry day, maybe, and then we set and then answer of the dry day is equal to index, is it? No, lake, yeah, lake. And then we are mostly good. The only thing that we need to continue to do is to just put a random day for all the other dry days. Otherwise, you should be able to do it. Okay, whatever. For x in dry indexes that are, I messed up a little bit. So then now after removing it, after this, we have to remove it, right? I always forget what it is. Is it discard or remove? I think it's remove. Okay. Okay, and then now for whatever that's left, we want to set this index is equal to just some number. I think it's fine. You can take any lake. I think it doesn't matter. And then now we just return the answer. Oh, I don't know how. Is it not add sorted list? Oh, I did this is an append. Oh man, I'm blind. Well, it's because I had an array earlier, right? So yeah. Okay, looks okay for this. I don't know. I feel like making two typos already, so we'll see. Oh man. Okay. That's actually a little bit sad. Yeah. Okay. And this is where, I might use my board, but we'll show it to you in thing, right? Dry day is right. Set it to lake. Oh, I'm dumb. I didn't update. Okay. I was going to try to debug it, but we just didn't update it. Because then now, the last time you see the lake, it's going to be index, right? Yeah, it's still wrong. Did I do everything right? I don't know. Okay, let's. Okay, let's take a look. I mean, this got this one wrong, right? So let's simulate it manually. We have 1, okay, and then we have a 0, which really only can do the 1, but we'll just leave it at 0 for now as part of this. We have a 2, we have a 0, we have a 3, we have a 0, and then the 2. Are they matching correctly? 2 goes to 2. Oh, this I do a 2 again. Why do I do a 2 again? It's because of this, but I thought I fixed it. Well, I thought that would fix it because then now I'm so confused. Yeah, I mean, this is clearly actually wrong because this should not, like, why is this one binary search finding this? Did I mess up on the putting the index in there? Index, is that right? No, that should be right. We binary search on this is also the index. Yeah, why is it wrong? I'm very weird. Like, I mean, the idea is right, but implementation is wrong, which happens, I suppose. All right, let's just print out the state of the things. Okay, and then this goes 2, which is not expected because, well, 2 is just not full. But okay, let's say we try day. I don't know. What am I doing? I am tired. Okay, you have day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What about? Okay, because this was removed to get the 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this 1 we moves to 1, okay? And then the 2 we moves to 5. Why? Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? It should be 6. Oh, why is this 0? Do I overload index somewhere? Oh, I do. Okay. I use index for this all the time, but then I guess I'm just dumb. I overwin it. Okay, that's a easy mistake at least to fix. Annoying to find, but easy to fix. This is actually this index. Maybe I should have called this day. Silly boy. Okay. S index for search index, but what a silly mistake. What a silly mistake. Okay, like I said, that's why I wasn't confident because today it just seems like you have good days, you have bad days, and today seems like a very silly mistake kind of day. So yeah. Okay, let's clean up these comments and I'll submit again just for future's sake. But yeah. What's the complexity here, right? I mean, I feel like it's relatively straightforward to analyze. We have n items. Each of these does a bisection on log n or n items, so n log n. That's it, n log n. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Yeah, let me know in the comments how you feel. I'm gonna call it good for now. Yeah, I gotta go for my run. It is getting late. So yeah, thanks for watching. Stay good, stay healthy, do good mental health. I will see you later and take care. Bye bye.